Welcome back. The opposition St. Lucia Labour Party says momentum is on the side of Wayne Gerard, and he is proving that he is ready to overthrow the incumbent Dominic Fedee at the polls. The opposition says a recent walkthrough in the constituency confirmed that people are ready for change.
As preparations for the next general elections continue, the opposition St. Lucia Labour Party says it is poised for victory. On Tuesday, the opposition St. Lucia Labour Party visited the Canaries Ancillary constituency, where endorsed candidate Wayne Gerard is mobilizing support. The communications officer for the SLP, Mondi Lewis, explains that the walkthrough was successful as many came out to interact with the candidate and other members of the party. She says there is a groundswell of support.
It's really to show a presence, to give support to the candidate, Mr. Wayne Gerard, as he undertakes this task of literally removing this uncaring government on the backs of St. Lucians. And, you know, as the protocols relax, we still encourage everyone to observe them. But, you know, we're looking forward to meeting our people because people want to feel you. People want to know that you care. People want to hear from you, hear your plans for how we're going to get St. Lucia out of this rut, out of this economic disaster, after this health crisis that the UWP government has put us into.
One of the criticisms of Gerard is that he does not have the sort of national profile needed to mount a successful challenge to the incumbent Dominic Fedee, who serves as tourism minister and who came into politics with a background in media and PR. Lewis says Gerard has made his mark and is very popular in the constituency. She says in addition to this, what must be focused on is the broken promises of the current MP.
Mr. Gerard has been doing his work, and it shows in the work that he has produced for the party. It shows by the presence that we felt, the welcome that we felt when we went to Ancillary Canaries. So to the naysayers, you know, we expect nothing different from them, but we did hear and we could also see the neglect of the constituency by the sitting MP. Honorable Dominic Fedee really has some answers for the people of Ancillary Canaries. He promised a number of things, and we see high unemployment in his constituencies. We see people every day without food, without the necessary arrangements to get their children to school. So really, the MP needs to show slate and do what he promised the people of Ancillary Canaries.
Lewis says the writing is on the wall and the days of the Flubble government are numbered.
We were very encouraged by the reception in Ancillary and in Canaries. We had hoped to cover some more ground in Jacmel and Roseau, but the day did not permit as support was overwhelming. Persons came out in the streets to speak to us, to share their concern, and you can see that the communities are hurting, that persons are unemployed, that there has been little to no economic support, income support, or economic relief for the communities which are hard hit, and a lot of St. Lucians are feeling the brunt of this COVID-19.
The SLP says it remains confident in Gerard's capabilities to unseat the incumbent when the general election is called. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzague.
A new style of governance is what is being promised by leader of the National Green Party, Andre De Caires. De Caires says that a decentralized form of governance is what is needed to attend to the direct needs of constituents. He shared his thoughts on how this style of governance will actually work in the hot seat earlier this week.
Decentralization in government has been seen as a solution to problems like economic decline, government's inability to fund its services, and their general decline in performance of overloaded services, as well as the general weakening legitimacy of the public service. It's a style of governance that the National Green Party is founded on, and something that the NGP leader, Andre De Caires, is hoping will work for St. Lucia. De Caires says that the norm of elected members of parliament taking up ministries within government will not be the case under a National Green Party leadership.
The rules of the party is that nobody who wins gets a ministry. You stay in your constituency and work for the people who have put the X for you. So, and Green Party is about decentralized governance. So the district rep would be working with groups and mothers and fathers, groups and sporting association and clubs. And we would like to develop a a sort of management of the constituency sort of model. So that's a decentralized model where the people of the constituency get together and see about their constituency, as opposed from a centralized governance dictating what happens in each constituency.
When asked about how he plans to pay both district representatives and sitting ministers, this was his response.
The same way that ministers are being paid, I mean, they're civil servants, the same, I guess, the way that they're being paid, we will pay. We definitely want to change the pay rates, though, because what we would like to see is that a district representative gets the same pay level as a minister. Because what is happening is that, and traditionally, when somebody wins their seat, the first thing is, what ministry am I getting, regardless of their qualifications. So it's like, you won your seat, this is your prize. We're not going to do it that way. We'll elect senators, and those senators would be running the ministries. People who actually know about running ministries, to run those ministries, and they will become ministers.
De Carey says that those capable of holding various ministries have already been approached and are willing to serve in such capacities.
I believe that I've been living here long enough, 34 years, and it's a small country, so there's a small cadre of wonderful people, reputable people, honest people, selfless people in the country that we will approach, that we have approached already to take part in the elective politics, but they themselves, because of where they are in life, to get into this game, they rather not. So we would engage these people afterwards, and these people would be happy to come on board to run these things. You mentioned a technocrat-led, but in the Green Party, all of us have the same vote, so the technocrats would have to listen to the district representatives. So it's not an autocratic kind of thing, it's true democracy. Grassroots democracy is what Green Parties are all about.
There are many advantages to decentralized governance, including the administrative efficacy of government and endowing citizens with more power. Those who take advantage of their rights to elect local and regional authorities have been shown to have more positive attitudes towards politics. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
As the academic year winds down, teachers at the Corinth Secondary School are seeking to lighten the load of academics in the current COVID-19 environment with Freestyle Friday. It was a day where students and teachers alike were allowed to express themselves with creative hairstyles and outfits. The initiative is to ensure that the mental health of students remains a top priority at the school.
Since the inception of COVID-19, the issue of mental health has been a key concern. Students have had to make major adjustments given the significant impact of COVID-19 on the education sector. The focus on managing their academic burden has often meant that mental health matters have taken a back seat. Recognizing this problem, teachers of the Corinth Secondary School deemed it necessary to have a de-stress day where fun hairstyles and dress were the theme. Social studies teacher Ronisha Alexander speaks to the conceptualization of Freestyle Friday and how it lends to easing the pressures of school.
We have named this initiative Freestyle Friday because we recognize that with everything that has been happening with COVID, we have been so fixated on academics that we needed to give the students a mental break to basically bring out their creative side. And as you can see standing with me, our teachers got involved, so it wasn't just about the students, but it's an entire school affair.
Ronisha Alexander further highlights why it is necessary to be dynamic in a school environment during current COVID-19 times and how it has encouraged them to rethink teaching strategy.
I think that COVID has presented us with a unique opportunity to create events that are not really based on academics, focusing so much on academics. And students have been through so much, especially being confined to their homes for so long. So when they come back to school, we do not want to just shove work down their throats, basically. We want to focus on the mental state, where they can be in an environment where they feel relaxed, where they feel they can express their creative side, because sometimes that side is stifled. So we really want to continue, even after COVID, think of other events that we could introduce that would basically allow the students to show their other sides not just the academics.
Students of the lower forms were primarily targeted this time around, but teachers have made it clear that this is something they will seek to continue even post-COVID-19. Karim Nelson, Hot 7 TV.
This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Stay with us. We'll be right back.